Good evening and welcome to the FITT Show. Financial information for today and tomorrow. Helping our people get their finances in shape. That's what the FITT Show stands for. Hello, I'm Bobby Kinzer. And my partner today, Thomas Doty, is out today because he had eye surgery. And he's sitting back, need to be resting. And he probably have a patch over his eye looking like Captain Hook right about now. So don't get well soon. So I'm running this show today, flying solo. So stick with me, you all. Looking forward to have an action-packed show with 100 pounds worth of knowledge in a 10-pound bag. So stay tuned. Just want to let you know that, as always, we like for you to make sure you click on the like button and the heart button, because that gives us traction, which expands our viewership. That's how Facebook works. And also share it. Share this actual show with other people, and that really helps our viewership. So I hope you all make sure you go out there and do that. It's a great day. The stock market's been going crazy. Also want to remind y'all, YouTube. For us to expand our audience, how the algorithms work on YouTube, you need to subscribe to the FITT Show. So that really will help. Now, that's enough of the administrative things. So last week we talked about, do you need a financial advisor? We got a bunch of responses about that, because the fact of the matter is, yes, you do need a financial advisor. We all do. I mean, it's just like, most people can do some work in their cars, but you are better to take it to a mechanic that does this every day, who has the knowledge. Just like I can do my taxes, but I have a guy do our taxes because he does it every day and he stays up on all the tax issues. So I make sure that I'm getting the best advice that is to offer. So yes, we all need a financial advisor. So, but this week we're going to be talking about today top money rules for 2022. Now, a lot of these rules we are going to be talking and reiterating them throughout the year, and we're going to be adding other rules because it is very important to have certain guiding principles that can help you. But first, like we always start, I want to talk about how the stock market is doing. And man, it's been kind of crazy. But the stock market for the past month has been like very, very volatile. It has been for the past month, it's been very volatile. No one really knows what drives the shifts in the stock market, but there's a lot going on. You have the Omicron virus surge. You have Joe Biden and Capitol Hill in a Mexican standoff with voters' rights and economic bills and policies. You got inflation running rampant. Inflation is the highest it's been in about 40 years. It's almost like around about 7%. That is high because we were running for the past 10 years around 2%. And that's why you're seeing all of this cost of goods going up. You got the Federal Reserve anticipating raising the interest rates, and they're talking about at least 4 times this year. That affects the market and the things that we buy, like homes. And you got Russia in conflict with USA threatening to take over, Russia threatening to take over Ukraine. And then there's other geopolitical issues. And let me tell you another one. The housing market is a standoff because it's a seller's market right now, but they don't have any homes to sell. What's happening with the existing homes, a lot of people are sitting tight because of, the economy, the pandemic, and they're not sure what to do. So a lot of people are sitting tight, holding on to existing homes, and that causes the market to be scarce. But check this out. In the new home market, I talked to my friend who's down in Charlotte, my frat brother, Donald Tracy, who's into the new home business in a major way. And he was informing me how that the new homes builders and sellers are sitting on the homes. Even though there is a seller's market, a bunch of people want to buy homes, they're sitting on them because last year they sold homes, priced them but the lumber increase hit, and they ended up having to pay more on lumber, but they already sold the homes, and they couldn't go back and go, hey, well, we want to charge you a little bit more. So they underpriced the homes, and their margins for growth was very thin because of the lumber market. So today, he's telling me that the new home market people are sitting on the homes because they're trying to make sure they price them right. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on today, y'all. Is just crazy. Makes you really wonder what the world is going on. So uh, that's what's going on. A lot of things. So let's talk a little bit. The market today opened at a positive. I think it even went up. It went up considerably high in a positive, but it ended in a negative. For instance, the NASDAQ dropped, and the NASDAQ, you all, is usually where a lot of the tech stocks are, or the small companies, but mostly the tech stocks, big companies are usually on the NASDAQ, and that dropped 186 points today, and that's about 1.3%. The Dow Jones 30 dropped approximately 300 points, and the Dow Jones 30 is like the top 30 companies, corporations, and so they sort of peg what's going on with them. They dropped over 300 points. Then you got the S&P 500, obviously, 500 of the top companies, and that's usually an indicator how they go, which are usually blue chip companies, is how America or how the market go. And they dropped about just 50%. But because there's a smaller market, that's about 1.10%. And that's just today. But check this out. The past 5 days, the NASDAQ has dropped over 1,000 points. That's about almost 7%. The Dow 30 dropped 1,500 points, about 4%. And the Standard & Poor's for the past 5 days has dropped 204 points. Now, a lot of people go, "Oh my God, I was heavily in growth stocks, and I'm taking the beating. I'm a retreat to cash or to money markets, to treasuries." But this is what me and Dote always talk about, you all. If you properly mix, or no, not properly, the word is appropriately, make your asset mix correctly, then you can weather these future shocks. There's no time to panic. The stock market goes up, it goes down. It's like a W. It's like a W. It goes up, it goes down, and you hope that the peaks outweigh the valleys, and normally it does over time. That's why we say if you're in the stock market or even cryptocurrency, it's about the long play. So don't panic, you all, but just make sure you look. And if you can't stomach it, like we always say, if you feel you can't sleep at night, then yes, move some of your money more into conservative funds so that you can sleep at night. But don't be panicking, you all. This happens all the time. This happened in March of 2020 when the pandemic was hitting high, and the market did the same thing. It just, crashed. But it returned so fast in the next month or two, and that was one of the fastest returns. Normally it takes more like a year, 18 months or so to recover, but it was just several months. So no one could really predict the market. And we're not trying to tell you to try to predict the market. But what we are saying is make sure that you look at your portfolio and, manage and adjust accordingly to your goals and to your risk tolerance and to your timelines too. So don't be trying to time the market. Just make sure you have it set up accordingly to your financial goals and your risk tolerance. So another thing, let me give you an update on the cryptocurrency, because we always give a little update on that. Now, the cryptocurrency was up positive earlier today. Remember, cryptocurrency trade 24 hours globally, so it can be changed right now. So the cryptocurrency market cap 3 months ago was at 2.7 trillion. It is now down to $2 trillion, meaning the market cap, the market that is out there, all cryptocurrency. That's a $700 billion drop, you all. Last week it was the Bitcoin was $42,627. Today at 6 p.m., when I checked it, it was at $40,000 and $801. So it's been cryptocurrency been taking a beating. And it's weird because it started up pretty, about 3% today. And then like the market, it dropped down negative. But the Bitcoin is still number one amongst the Bitcoin amongst cryptocurrencies. And its market cap last week, now several months ago, it was at $1 trillion. The Bitcoin, and I just told you, the market cap for the whole cryptocurrency was 2.7 trillion. So it almost made half of the cryptocurrency market. But today it's down to $773 billion. And it's taking a hit. A lot of people follow Ethereum, and you got stable coins like Tether and Binance, which is pegged to the dollar. They've been holding a little bit because they are the few cryptocurrencies that's pegged to something, which is the dollar. But Shiba, who a lot of people, Shiba, man, I know a person invested in Shiba and put $30-some thousand, and it went up to like, I think it was about $400,000 within several months. It has been diving. The past 3 months, Shiba have been decreasing considerably. So that's what's happening with the market. I want to say hello out there to a lot of people who are watching, a lot of just great friends, family members, or co-workers. My man up in Buffalo, New York, Chris Fuller, one of the best coaches and basketball players, played at Buffalo State with Randy Smith. Y'all remember Randy Smith, who was like the Iron Man of the NBA? And my main man, Melvin Little, DC's finest. And Modestine, how you doing, dear? And always a loyal viewer. And Trevor Williams, thanks for watching, Trevor. So you all, I want to talk a little bit about today's topic, the top money rules for 2022. Now, we all want to be rich. Well, most people. But some people want to take more chances than others to get rich. Thank God there are simple and powerful ways to get rich without having to be like a Mississippi boat gambler or be like Bernie Madoff either. So the following is the top money rules list of some guiding principles that can help you manage your money and provide a stable approach to both protecting and maximizing your hard-earned savings. So remember, you all, we like to make this interactive. So put some comments out there. If you have a question or you want to comment on something I said or you want to add to the conversation, please put it in the comment box. Now, we struggle, if you're on my personal Facebook page, the comments come through pretty straightforward. And if you are on the FITT page on Facebook, the comments come through. We still trying to have a hard way to connect where we get the comments on from YouTube. But anyway, oh, my man, Ron Jackson. What's up, my man? My man, Ron, one of the IT top special guys. I love Ron, Microsoft, man. So anyway, let's start with one of the first top rules. Spend less. Rule number one, spend less than you earn. Now, I know a lot of people know that and heard that, but that needs to be said again. Spend less than you earn. Now, financial problems are rooted in one's refusal to accept the fact that life is not fair. Now, as long as you feel entitled to material things you can afford, you will have money troubles. Most financial problems are the result of irregular and unpredictable expenses, by the way. They don't think about the things that don't happen on a regular basis. Financial problems will never go away as long as unsecured debt is carried from month to month, like credit card debt, has an odd way of reproducing. Start by tracking your spending so you can get your spending under control and get a handle on your finances and your financial future. Rule number 2, anticipate your irregular expenses. Monthly expenses can pay for every monthly expenses we pay for every month are generally not the problem. Somehow the rent and utilities get paid and the family gets fed. The problem is irregular expenses a lot of times. Plan ahead for irregular or unexpected expenses in the same way you anticipate the expenses that you are keenly aware of every month. But if these expenses are irregular or sporadic, how, you ask, can you anticipate um, participate? How can you anticipate them? The way you do this is by looking at the past year, and what better time to do that is now while you're reliving 2021 in preparation for tax time. For instance, your credit card statements, check registers will help jog your memory of car repairs, insurance policies, summer camp, seasonal sports, and property tax, just to name a few. The next step is to determine how much you will need to save to fund these irregular expenses throughout the year. Rule number 3, tell your money where to go. Tell your money where to go. If you think we are like a broken record, then you are correct. With me and Thomas Doty always be talking about budget. When we mention the word budget, a lot of people cringe. One of the reasons is a lot of people can't stand someone telling them how to spend their money. When you develop a good spending plan, it shows where you are and how to get where you want to be. In its simplest form, a spending plan is the roadmap to your financial independence. The way to solvency is that a budget is the ticket to financial happiness. Since you don't like the word, we've replaced it with rule number 3. Tell your money where to go. So we're not going to call it a budget anymore for you people who panic or spending plan. We're going to say, tell your money where to go. Rule number 4. Oh, Harold Martin, what's up? Oh, man, Harold, what's happening, man? Love to see you, brother. Good to be checking us in. Chris Fuller says, when your output is more than your income, then your upkeep is your downfall. Very, very good point, Chris. Defer. Chris Kringle. Rule number 4, borrow only what you know you can repay. Borrowing is a financial tool that improves your life if dealt with intelligently, not emotionally. The rule to borrow is only what the rule is to borrow only what you know you can repay. Now, I know that sounds simple, but another way to put it would be borrow only what you have a reasonable certainty based upon credible information that you can repay. Let me say that again. Another way to say it. Borrow only what you have a reasonable certainty based upon credible information that you can repay. And borrow the least you can get by with to achieve your intended result, not the most that the lender will approve. Never let a lender determine how much you should borrow. Some mortgage lenders will try to nudge you into the most house you can qualify for, not the house you can afford. Repay debt quickly, rather than stretching it out as far as possible. One way is to opt for the largest payment you can handle. Notice what I'm saying, not just the largest payment, but the largest payment that you can possibly handle, not the smallest the lender will approve. Borrowing money is not wrong, but it should be done advisedly and with tremendous caution. Debt of any kind Debt of any kind should be seen as a short-term situation that always has accompanying aggressive payment plan. Let me say that again. Debt of any kind should be seen as a short-term situation that always has an accompanying aggressive payment plan. What's up, Herndon McMillan? Glad you're checking in. What's happening? Rule number 5, manage your credit. We must take full responsibility for maintaining an excellent credit rating for the purpose of saving money and improving our financial intelligence and our effectiveness as money managers. Yes, all of us are money managers. You don't have to have no degree or be no specialist or certification. You are a money manager. There's a trending belief, though, in some circles that to have good credit, you have to be in debt. And let me get this straight. This is not true. You do not have to be in debt to be found highly creditworthy. Now, poor credit rating can be costly, and that's the reason you need to assume the role as your own personal credit manager. To do this, you need to monitor your credit report, credit score, and credit card account on a regular basis. The truth is that a credit card, the right credit card, used smartly by someone with a degree of financial intelligence, meaning you, can be a useful financial tool that can also contribute to a high FICO score, thus achieving that high level of credit worthiness that you need. Rule number 6, owning a home can reduce longevity risk. Let me tell you what we're talking about. Owning a home is still better than renting. Home prices can soar, like I'm talking about to get ready to do, or collapse, but you'll be insulated since you are neither buying nor selling your home, because that's considering that you own it and paid it off. Who cares what the housing market does? Your house consumption is guaranteed through the end of your days. So owning a home is still better than just renting. Rule number 6. Rule number 7. If I'm right, yeah, rule number 7. Consider working for yourself. If you start the right business the right way, it will raise your remaining future earnings and provide unmatched job security. Consider turning a hobby into a business. That's a way to actually start working for yourself. So consider that. Rule number 8. Don't make the 4 economic mistakes. And the 4 economic mistakes are: save the wrong amount when you are young. What does that mean? Just not putting enough money away. Save as much as you can so that you'll be able to have it to invest and to also have an emergency fund. The other economic mistake we make is putting your pre-retirement savings on autopilot. Now, I know for a lot of people, they use these life cycle accounts, and that's cool if that's the kind of person you are, because they do work. But sometimes you can do better. And I'm just talking about, you don't have to be no financial advisor, than just leaving it on autopilot. Because if it's not doing according to your financial goals, you should consider readjusting it. Number 3, spending the wrong amount when you're older. Okay? Spending the wrong amount when you're older. That's just plain and simple. Just spending too much money. Can't be doing that. And number 4, never adjusting to market conditions. And that's what I was talking about, number 2, about just leaving it on autopilot. Sometimes you need to adjust to market conditions. But outside of life cycle funds, I'm just talking about sometimes our regular mix, like I talked about earlier at the top of the hour, about how sometimes we need to look at our mix and make sure it is properly aligned with our financial goals, risk tolerance, and the time frames. Rule number 9. This is going to be interesting. Shop once a month. Now, some people may debate me on this one, but instead of shopping weekly, shop once a month. That way you'll stock up for the month instead of going to the grocery store weekly, which usually results in less money in your pocket because you're going more often. So consider that. I mean, it's been proven that you can definitely save definitely more money. Rule number 10, improve your ability to earn. Become wiser. At the end of the day, you are paid an amount that you will have the skill to earn. If you want to increase your income and make more money, then you need to become wiser and more skilled so that your contributions are worth more. So this is actually applying to 2 things, learning more, getting more skill sets that you can improve your value at the job, improving your skill sets so that you can ask for money. And then it also is dealing with, there are countless personal finance books out there. This stuff should be taught in every high school and college, but it isn't. No one is going to care more about your money decisions than you. Invest some money, time, and energy into yourself. It's the best investment you can make. And then you can go to networking events to get more information on how to manage your money. We must get wise. You don't have to be no Albert Einstein to be managing money. You don't have to go to school to be a good personal money management of your own money. Rule number 11. Keep your savings goals separate. Now stick with me on this one. Savings goals are sometimes referred as buckets of money. So an emergency fund and a savings account for a vacation are two different savings goals. You might want to consider putting these savings in different savings accounts. At the very least, it's a good idea to keep your savings stockpile away from your checking account. Some people do this already, but some people put it all in one pot and they convolute the money. But you have different goals for different savings. Commingling money in a checking account can sometimes make you think you have more money than you actually have, especially if most of that money is needed to pay upcoming bills. Rule number 12 on top money rules. Automate when you can. Having a hard time saving money, automate it. Having trouble remembering to pay your water bill, automate it. Having problems paying your life insurance premiums, worrying about they're going to lapse, automate it. It's that easy. The best way to save more money, avoid late fees, and make your life easier is to automate as much of your financial life as possible. The goal is to make the big decisions up front so you don't waste so much time and energy on all that other things. Rule number 13. Get the big purchase right. What I mean by that, personal finance experts love to debate the minutiae, but the most important purchases in terms of keeping your finances in order will be the big ones, like housing and transportation. Overextending yourself on these two purchases can be a killer because they represent fixed costs and come with more additional expenses that most people realize. When I drive by some of these enormous homes and I see these $80,000 luxury cars, I say to myself, I wonder how much they have saved for retirement. So get the big purchase right, you all. Make sure, you're not just emotional buying. Because remember, the bigger the house, the more stuff you got to put in it. The bigger the house, the more space you got to heat and cool. Rule number 14. Save a little more each year. That's so important. Before I go any further, I'd like to just shout out to some of our wonderful people who's tuning in around the world, by the way. But my man, Brian Maggot from Montgomery County, Blair High School, one of the sharpest shootingest guys I've ever known in this Washington metropolitan DC area. I'm talking about his soft touch was like the breath of baby's breath on a pillow. Thanks for joining us, Brian. And my wonderful, wonderful sister, Nolia Melton. Thank you for tuning in, Nolia. So glad to have you on the board. And everybody else who I can't see out there, thank y'all for joining us. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m., the FITT Show, financial information for today and tomorrow, helping out people get their finances in shape. We have no cut card. We're not selling anything. We're not narcissists. We're just trying to provide information for our people so they can better their financial positions and enter the financial mainstream, which will help them acquire generational wealth. So rule number 14, save a little more each year. The trick of saving more money over time to increase your savings rates every time you get a raise. So you'll never even notice you had more money to begin with. And the sooner you begin, and the sooner you begin setting money aside, the less you end up realizing it never made it to your checking account to be spent in the first place. So just want to share those actual uh, money rules for 2022. We're going to have definitely a whole lot more money tips for everybody. We just don't stop here. I'd like to say hello to Garnett Nick, is one of our most loyal viewers. Good evening, speedy recovery to Dote, she says. And Dote should be watching. And hello to my frat brother, Charles Clutch Chicago, up there in Pennsylvania. But just wanted to share these tips, you all. Like I said, we will be reiterating some of these, but we're also going to be adding new ones as we go, because it's always good to have guiding principles, you all, to keep you on track and in the right direction. Because me and Dote always talk about, you always need to make sure you pay attention and look at your finances. Another thing, if you haven't filed your tax yet, I know a lot of people like to wait. Don't do that, you all. You need to file your taxes as soon as you can, because you know what's happening? There's identity theft now with people's taxes. It happened to Doty. You know, somebody, before he filed his taxes and tried to get his tax return. That's a lot of fraud that's going on with that, you all. And that is, that's crazy, isn't it? But so the sooner you file your taxes, stop procrastinating. I know most people do them themselves, hate, to do it. Or if you have an accountant doing them, you hate having to get all the pieces of paper together in that shoebox. But do it, because people are stealing people's tax returns. They taking their filing the taxes and taking their tax return. So that's even more why you should get it done. Should be doing it anyway, but not just before that. But that's a good reason why to do it. So I want to leave you with a perspective. A friend of mine was watching his son playing basketball through the window in his cul-de-sac. And he noticed his son was crawling around on his all fours, for a while. So he go outside, walked up to his son. He said, "Son, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, Dad, man, my contact fell out and I'm looking for my contact." And my partner bent right over, picked it up and go, "Oh, here's your contact." And his son said, "Wait a minute, Dad. I've been out here for minutes looking for that. How did you just come out here and just find it?" And his father said, "Well, that's the difference between me and you. You were looking for a contact, and I was looking for $250. Hello, is this thing on? I ain't lying." So the story is a lot about managing money. Is not about all skill, technical, and fundamental. A lot of it has to do with your mindset and your behavior. And your behavior, a lot of times, is tied to your values. A lot of people, they say you can tell a lot about a people's soul if you look at their checkbook and their credit card statement. So make sure you consider those things. And it's definitely about attitude and mindset and behavior, because, hey, check this out. Lo and behold, if your parents were probably bad savers, didn't do a budget, overspend, guess what? 9 times out of 10, you probably be the same. So make these behavioral changes, y'all, because that's how you can get control of your money. Like I said, you all are all money managers. And you're a personal money manager. So definitely make sure you do that. Modestine says, continue to save monthly, even in retirement. And that is true, you all. And I wanted you just, and we said this before, me and Dodo said this before. Savings is important, but we must understand saving is counterintuitive. You will not become wealthy just saving money. Think about it. Savings accounts are given less than 1%. Yes, you must save, but you must save to invest. Save to build an emergency fund, but you also must save to invest. So please keep that in mind. So with that, like we always do, I'm going to come with the summary and takeaways to wrap everything up. Just to recap, one of the first ones is live within your means, which was the number one rule: spend less than you earn. If you spend less than you earn, live within your means, you will have no problem, and you will have the money that you need to be able to increase your net worth by investing. Number two, really keep an eye on your irregular and unpredictable expenses. Like I said, a lot of people don't track them. We track, we good with, paying the mortgage and paying, the car note. But you need to look at those other ones like, the summer camps and repairs and all of that. And you need to factor those in to your budget for the year, by the way. And that's one way to get a hold of it. You need to be in control of your money. In other words, you tell it where to go. And what was our code name for? That was our code name for have a spending plan, develop a budget. You tell your money where to go. You are the personal money management of your funds. Number four, if you can't repay it, remember the old saying? If you can't repay it, the old saying, don't even try. One of the rules we talk about, make sure that if you actually purchase something, that you will have the ability to repay it, because you don't want it to be damaging your credit. You don't want it to be messing with you emotional where you can't sleep at night because you're so in debt. And like we said last week, if you're in a hole, don't get a shovel, get a ladder and get on out of it. Number five, manage your credit. You are the CEO of your company, which is called Family Inc. Manage your credit, you all, because that credit is the thing to kill people. Survey came out just the other day, says 40% of Americans do not know what their credit card interest is. That's a sin, you all. You need to know that. And if it's too high and your credit's good, you need to look to get another credit card that has lower interest. But let me tell you the secret that me and Dote has. Me and Dote has never paid, not never. I can't tell you when I paid interest because we pay them off before the interest accrues the next month. And that takes care of that interest issue. But I can't believe that. And the average interest rate you all these days is 17%. That's just the average. It goes up to 25%, 26% for a bunch of people. So please keep an eye on managing your credit. It's so important. And you need to look at it regularly. You need to look at least at your credit report at the least every 3 months. And we get free credit report. No, excuse me. That's the one that is not free. Annualcreditreport.com. You can get 3 free credit reports a year: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And you should look at it because there's so much identity theft going on. And that way you can protect yourself, because our information is everywhere. There's nothing you can do about that. But you can protect yourself against it, like at your bank. Have alerts. And you can do this, have alerts on your bill pay, on your accounts when something happens. Your credit card, you can do alerts. On your credit report, on your credit card, you can have credit freeze. All of these things help to prevent identity theft, and falls in line with managing your credit, understanding, managing your score, managing your credit cards. And the last one, consider working for yourself. It's one of the biggest and best job security that you can get. And it's not for everybody, but for a lot of people who have a hobby, you can actually turn your hobby into a business and maximize some of those taxes, savings that you get from having a business. It works. So with that, my wonderful people, I am so glad that y'all tuned in. I was going solo. I miss you, Dope. Get well quick, Dope. And stay tuned next week, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Hello, Joanne Skinner, one of my favorites out there. Thanks for watching. So click on the like button so that we get more traction. Even when we get off here, it still works. And the heart button, because we get a lot of traction. And put comments in there because that expands it even more. You make sure you share this with other people on Facebook. And we are here next week. Thank you for tuning in. I know what I want to say. That's what I was trying to think and talk at the same time. Make sure you go out. This is our 34th show. You can go out on Facebook and YouTube and search the FITT Show, FITT, capital letters show, and get all our previous shows where we talked about taxes, investing, is what you want really what you need. We talked about credit scores, managing your debt. We talked about tips on increasing your earnings. We talked on tips on decreasing your spending and so many more. And they're out there, and you can go out there and you can actually send those to other people to watch. We usually keep it anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes to show. So share this, you all. We want to expand. We want to decrease that wealth gap that they talk about Black Americans. We want to start decreasing it. And it's just not going to happen overnight, you all. It's going to take discipline and time, and you all can do it. Because remember, you are the CEO of your company called Family Inc. Thank you for tuning in. Love all of y'all. Hey, what's up, Aunt Jen? Jennifer McDonald, Aunt Jen. How are you, darling? And Rosemary. Hey, Rosemary, how you doing? Glad you, oh my God, Rosemary is in London, England, you all. Hello, Rosemary. Thanks for checking in. I love you much. Say hello to my wonderful friend Lorraine and all my other friends in England. So with that, y'all, no further ado, tune in to the FITT Show every Thursday at 8 p.m. We're there. Don't get well soon. Look forward to you being back next week. Love y'all. Peace be with you. And I leave you. Wait a minute. I can't believe this. The baddest 5-octave singer, gospel, R&B, jazz, my man, Dr. John Butler. Go out there on John Butler, Google him and check out his music, you all. He's awesome. But thank you for watching. And my little brother, Carl Chapman. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Keep hitting those buttons, so we get that traction. And I'm going to leave you with this last saying. My grandfather always said, it is sometimes better to be the trip than to be tripped. All right, I'm out of here. I ain't lying.